Tragedy has struck for Rams fans as Cooper Kupp has been ruled out for week 1 and could possibly be placed on IR. Let's get into the video. As a lot of you guys are most likely aware, I made a video about 3 or 4 days ago where I gave a Cooper Kupp injury update, and it said, Cooper Kupp injury update, we don't need to worry. And I need to update this video now. We do need to worry a bit. Now, here's the thing, Cooper Kupp could be out just this week and he could be returning in week 2. And that would be really good for us people who drafted Cooper Kupp in basically all their leagues. I picked him up in the 3rd round of most of my leagues. In my, best ball leagues, I've also drafted him pretty high. He's pretty necessary to my success as a fantasy football player. That's neither here nor there. It's going to be very detrimental to the success of the Rams if Cooper Kupp is placed on IR. But first, I want to go over all the information that we have on this subject, and then we'll talk about my overall thoughts on the subject after that. So here we are on the Rams wire, and it says Cooper Kupp ruled out versus Seahawks on Sunday, could potentially go on IR. So Sean McVay spoke with reporters on Wednesday and provided a much anticipated update on Cooper Kupp, who's currently dealing with the hamstring injury. I thought this was going to come a little bit sooner than it did, but it's out now. McVay said that Cooper Kupp will not practice Wednesday and has been ruled out for Sunday's game against the Seahawks. Additionally, McVay said that there's a possibility that Kupp could land on the injured reserve or IR, which would sideline him for at least 4 games. So yeah, this is basically how it works. If a player goes on IR, they have to sit out 4 games and then they're eligible to return at any point after that in the next 4 games after that. So there's a possibility that Cooper Kupp doesn't return until about the 8th week. Now, what does this mean? It just means that if Cooper Kupp goes on IR, we can bring in another player that would be able to suit up. Say we needed some more wide receiver depth. If Cooper Kupp was not going to be returning within a 4-week span based upon doctors' evaluation of him or his own evaluation, then it would be smart to put him on IR just so that we can have that extra spot for the time that he's out. However, if Cooper Kupp was planning on returning in week 2 or week 3, it's not exactly smart to put Cooper Kupp on IR, because then if he was ready to return in week 2 or week 3, we wouldn't be able to play him because he has to sit out at least 4 games. When McVay was asked if Kupp was possibly going on IR, he said, "We'll look into that. We want to be able to give him a little bit of time. We don't have to make that decision quite yet, but there's a possibility of that," McVay said of Kupp possibly going on IR. Now, I'm all for giving Cooper Kupp time. However, if we start the season 0-4 and it's because we just didn't have that extra push from Jared Goff, Cooper Kupp, and now we're not really in a playoff situation just because of that massive hill we would have to climb, I would really like for Cooper Kupp to try to push if he can. Now, he is getting older, so I believe he's 30 at the moment. That's old for a wide receiver. Now, I'm not saying that he should be looking at hanging it up here soon, but his hamstrings aren't going to be the same as they were when he was 26 and he can kind of just play through injuries. If it's going to hurt him more in the long run, yeah, we should keep him out. However, I'm just so torn because I would really like for the Rams to win games early, and having Cooper Kupp out there is better for us. Not to mention my fantasy team would also benefit from that majorly. But yeah, Kupp originally suffered his hamstring injury on August 1st and was sidelined for 3 weeks before suffering a setback in practice last week. And I wish we kind of would have just held him out of practice. The Rams sent him to see a specialist in Minnesota, hoping to gain some clarity on the injury, believing he should have recovered from it by now. McVay admitted it's been a tough situation for Kupp, who wants to be on the field with his teammates so badly. Now, I believe this, but this gives a few people chances to shine, and I'll talk about that in just a second with Van Jefferson, Puka Nacua in particular. But McVay said it's been unfortunate, it's been frustrating, but I do think he's done an excellent job being able to control what he can control. I think the biggest thing is let's implement a plan. Let's hopefully start feeling back to normal and being able to slowly and steadily progress him back. But it's been a really unique situation to say the least. And yeah, here's the thing. I would love to know the plan. However, I wouldn't want to put him on IR if Kupp thinks that he can come back in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So it's like we kind of have to delay the plan until we understand fully what's happening. I figured by this point that we would kind of know from a doctor how long he should be out, and then we can make that determination whether Kupp should go on IR or not. But the Rams aren't ready to do that. Maybe they'll be ready to do that next week. But if they do wait to put him on IR by next week, he'll have to sit out an extra game. So he wouldn't be able to return until week 6. If he was put on IR today, he'd be able to return on week 5. So, you know, I would love to get this situation figured out before this Sunday so that we can put him on IR before Sunday. However, if we aren't sure and we think that Kupp might be able to return in the next week or 2, then I think we should, you know, wait out. And then if we have to put him on IR because he has to wait out longer, then it is what it is. So that's what I think that the Rams should do, but I'm sure they probably don't watch my YouTube videos. But yeah. In Kupp's place, the Rams will need Van Jefferson, Puka Nacua, and Tutu Atwell to step up, along with Ben Skoranek and Demarcus Robinson. So yeah, those are our 5, you know, receivers at the moment. I'm assuming if Kupp does go on IR, we'll bring someone else up, possibly Tyler Johnson or Lance McCutcheon. But either way, you know, Kupp is out this week. That's a major blow. Do I think that the Rams are just going to lose now because Kupp's not there? No, I think it all really comes down to how well is our defense going to play, considering, you know, kind of how young it is, and then how much our offensive line can kind of mesh and keep Stafford, you know, a clean pocket. Because Stafford can play with a lot of guys, especially Puka Nacua, who has been said is like a hybrid of Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. So if Puka Nacua can be that, then hopefully we can just get a younger version of Cooper Kupp out there. That's not going to happen. However, I do think that Puka Nacua can step up pretty early and help out. And then hopefully Van Jefferson and Tutu Atwell have enough experience to lead this team, at least in the receiving room. But our line needs to play well, and Cam Akers needs to do well with the touches that he gets to open up that passing game as well. So that's pretty much what I've been thinking about this injury situation. I'm hoping that Cooper Kupp gets better soon and that we don't have to place him on IR. But if we already know he's going to be out 4 weeks, just place him on IR now so that we can, you know, have him back in week 5 rather than having to wait an extra week and having to have him play starting week 6. That's just my thoughts. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And then also leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.